Do you know the history behind this popular statue located in Udo town? We can't talk about this statue without talking about the 16th king of Benin, Oba Zolwani Baomi. Oba Zola was an emperor and a respected warlord in Benin. He expanded Benin Empire westward and eastward. Oba Zola, as an emperor, had numerous wives and children. He was the father of Osawe, who later became Oba Esigie in 16th century. He was the father of Enoge of Idogbo. He was the father of Olokwe of Okwe in Afemed division. He was the father of Idubo, who became Arwan of Udo. He was the father of Alani of Idoani. He was the father of Ugwan of Ora. He was the father of Eze of Abo, and so many other people I cannot list right now. Among Oba Zola's numerous wives, two were notable, which are Oloi Idia and Oloi Ohomi. Oloi Idia's legacy is well remembered today with the mask of Festac 77. These two women were strong physically, spiritually, and otherwise. Not like they really loved each other. You know how mates behave in a house. Now, they were both favored by the heavens. They got heavy at the same time for their husband, Oba Zolwa. Fast forward to the 9th month of the year, there was a coincidence. Their water broke on the same day, meaning they were in labor on the same day. The child, who would later be known as Idubo, was birthed first, but he had a low Apgar score medically, so he didn't cry. The silence of this baby stopped the people that birthed him from reporting to their father, Oba Zolwa, because it is an abomination to report a baby that didn't cry. Queen Ohomi was the mother of Idubo. In the other room, Queen Idia gave birth to a bouncing baby boy as well. This bouncing baby boy cried immediately. This baby boy would later be known as Osawe. This baby boy's birth was reported to Oba Zolwa. Joyfully, Oba Zola accepted this baby to be the first, though it was the second. Hours later, Queen Ohomi reported the birth of Idubo to Oba Zolwa, that it was the first child that was given birth to. Oba Zola questioned the people why they delayed the report of Idubo's birth. Their only response was there were some complications after the birth of Idubo. Oba Zola had already placed the second son, Osawe, to be the first. And there's a saying in Benin, Oba Eba Tere Noba Gie Iseve Igono, meaning when the Oba made a proclamation, he can never go back on it. This is why the Obas of Benin listened very well before passing judgment. But in this instance, the Oba was not at fault. Rather, it was the mother and the people that birthed Idubo that were at fault because they didn't report first. Before we continue the story, note that Oba Zola had a son who was the eldest to every other sons I mentioned earlier. His name was Idogbo. He also grew up in the palace with Osawe and Idubo. Few years go by. These two young princes grew alongside their elder brother Idogbo. Nation already cheated Idubo, who was later known as Arwan. He had this condition known as oversecretion of growth hormone, which caused him giantism. Idogbo and Osawe grew up as normal human being would. Idubo grew bigger in size. The people in the kingdom nicknamed him Arwan Okemezi or Metinemenwe, meaning Arwan the giant with excessive strength but less wisdom. Idubo, who is now known as Arwan, was not happy with the fact that every day of his life he had to see his younger brother Osawe as his eldest. Arwan confronted his own mother, Queen Ohomi, so many times about the circumstance that surrounded his birth and why he was cheated to be the last. Before we go further, I'll take you all back to 1299 AD. During the reign of Oba Udagbedo, there was a pond opposite the palace of Benin called Agbodo Pond. This pond later turned into the playground for Idubo, who was Arwan, Osawe, who became Oba Esigie, and Idogbo, who became Enoge of Idogbo. One day, while they were playing close to this pond, Idogbo slipped his leg and dislocated one of his legs during this play, and he became a cripple after that day. This disability automatically disqualified Idogbo from becoming the next Oba after his father, despite being the eldest, because there's a saying in Benin, meaning the palace is built with upright wood. It is forbidden for a deformed person to become an Oba. The mantle of Obaship fell on Osawe, who later became Oba Esigie. But Idubo was not happy with this. The fact that Oba Zola knew what was going on in his palace, despite waging wars outside his territory to protect his kingdom from external aggressors, he made the first child, Idogbo, the Enoge of Idogbo, a community present in today's Benin. Arwan was fully grown at this point, waged wars against those that rebelled against his own father's government. Arwan was so huge in history that he was said to have uprooted palm trees to sweep his father's compound, of which the same thing he did when he was sent to Udo. Arwan had 6 toes to the front and 6 to the back, so it was difficult for an enemy to know he's approaching. Obazola discovered the strength of Arwan. He knew the fact that Esigie, who was Osawe now, cannot wrestle with Arwan himself. So Obazola had to send Arwan to a nearby community in the west end of Benin called Udo. He asked Arwan to become the Duke of Udo, while Esigie take over his throne, where he must have joined his ancestors. Udo as a historical community is currently located at Ovia Southwest local government in Benin. Udo was so tough from the era of Ogiso till the dynasty of the Obaship that a parable was coined, meaning going to Udo with a playful mind or a joyful heart is difficult, talk more of going with war. This was why Obazola sent his powerful son to become the Duke of this community. Arwan agreed with what their father said, Obazola, that he would go to Udo, but he made his brother Osawe to understand that in time to come, he will make Udo the capital of Benin.